Hello, this is QED Denial, and today I'll be bringing you a replay from the Southeast Asia Clan Cup, Clan League. This is QED, match against TA, UpWAiting, playing TAEradus. This is the best of three. We got Eridus spawning in the bottom here as a Protoss in the bottom left, while UpWAiting is spawning as a Terran in the top right. This is on Shattered Temple, a very large map with the cross spawns, so early rushers will struggle a little bit. So we'll just see how this game progresses. Interesting to see if UpWAiting will go for any of the usual 1-1-1 moves or early pressure. As I said, with a long cross distance, early pressure like a 2-racks rush or even a 1-1-1 is a bit harder to keep track of, as normally the Protoss will get a good scout of it before it even reaches its base. But pretty standard opening. This means not much else to say really here. UpWAiting's been performing pretty well with the QED team at the moment. He's currently promoted from silver to gold, and he's striving to get to that platinum. And the way he's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets there soon. TAEradus from obviously Clan TA, a pretty high level clan in the Southeast Asia community. They actually field teams in most of the leagues, if not all 5 of the different tiers. This is their T5 team. TA is well known and is doing quite well even in the top division tier 1. Their team has done quite well, although it did suffer a recent 5-0 loss to XG King's team, led by Igus and those members. But generally, TA has been performing quite well. Got a scout going out from TA now, checking cross first, nothing there. Now go up to the top. Barracks from UpWAiting, he's left his he's decided not to wall off, so the scout will get in and see exactly what's going on. Let's see if it'll be a gas, 1-racks gas expand would be probably the standard to see from UpWAiting here. Senso, gateway, pylon, cyber, all pretty standard from both here. TAEradus, I believe, is also the captain of the tier 5 team. So he's got a lot resting on his shoulders here. Currently, both teams are near the top of the Southeast Asia Clan League Tier 5 table, and this match could very well decide who finishes top of that league, barring other results from other teams, as these two have been two of the most consistent teams so far. The probe here is doing a little dance. There it is. UpWAiting has got a nice little stutter step there from the Marine. He's not going to let that probe out. But Eridus is going to then sit around for another scan, see if he can get the timing and everything else. He's going to see that the second gas is up. He's going to see that it's an orbital command, so he knows that there'll be more mules dropping soon. He knows that the scans are up. His probe has stopped. Unfortunately, he might have even escaped if he kept moving there, but unfortunately he stopped. So the Marine's taken out, and before he saw that it was a factory. So he's going into possibly a 1-on-1 here. He's got a reactability now, so more likely than not be reactor Hellions. As you'd normally drop a tech lag if you're going to go 1-on-1. Down this end, we've got a second gateway going down, so it's going to be a 2-gate opening from Eridus, possibly into an expand. I'm interested to see when both expand this map. It is a large map, and often it'll be whoever expands first. If they can hold that, will win this due to the economy boost. But if UpWAiting's going for a 1-1-1, it's going to prevent Eridus would want to expand soon, as that's often the best counter against 1-1-1. It's an early expand to get the extra resources up to pump up those units before the 1-1-1 hits, because 1-1-1 does set you behind in the count of units. And there's a 1-1-1 coming from UpWAiting. He's got the starport going down now. He's still pumping out Marines. I wouldn't be surprised if he switches this over to make... Oh, he's got the tech lab coming up on the factory, so he's not going to have any Hellions at all. He's going to go tech lab and then tech lab onto the starport. It's 1-1's a bit fouled here. I would have been better off if he'd put a tech lab then instead of reacted the Hellions out, as then he could have switched the barracks and the starport over in order to produce Marines quicker. These three Marines are going to struggle to hold his stalker off. He's got 5 now, so he's pretty safe in the stalker pressure now. One stalker could kite those forever. With 5 Marines though, he's going to have to continually kite very carefully. Back here, it looks like they're going into a 3-gate robo, 4-gate robo. So 4-gate robo, 1 base at the moment for Eridus, which is a pretty heavy investment in minerals and tech. The observer though does come in handy, as it helps deal with this 1-1-1, and with the robo you can also get out of mortals, which helps out. But he's going to go for a 4-gate warp prism drop, which can be quite powerful. Not so powerful against 1-1, depending on when he hits. If he hits when the UpWAiting's forces moves out, can be quite powerful. As said though, he's got nice control in the middle of the map. Got Zelnaga control. The sentry though is moving out as well. Probably not wise to leave your sentry out in the middle of the map, as it can be chased down by Marines, but we'll let that go. he swapped over the starport to the tech lab and built a tech lab on the factory as well. So he's got 2 tech labs and a reactor. He's popping out 2 Banshees now. Nothing out of that factory yet. Not even 1 siege tank, so that's been unfortunate. But he's got cloak researching. So we have a bit of a cloak Banshee Ras. Oh, he goes up to TAEradus now. He's going to do this drop. Let's see how this drop goes for TAEradus. The War Prism's going around. Inside the War Prism, he's got 2 Zealots, a Stalker, and a Sentry, which is a lot of problem. He's got Siege Tech coming too now, so this is going to be a very strong late game force for UpWAiting if he expands shortly, but he needs to expand. Let's drop this force down within view of UpWAiting. UpWAiting hasn't responded yet though. He'll have to respond now. It's fully committed now by TAEradus because he's actually warp pointing this in, so he cannot pick them all up. Now, this Sentry though needs to watch back here, or he'll be sniped off by these Marines. The Marines are now going to chase down. He needs to target down the War Prism, which he is now. He's going to sacrifice the War Prism is gone, so no more reinforcements come. These units are trapped. He's going to use the SCVs to tank damage of the Zealots, which probably is not wise. He probably should have just kept kiting, as he's just lost so many SCVs now. And if we bring back up that 11 workers killed, it's just falling for UpWAiting. I'm just going to put him so far behind, mules or not. As it stands, though, he needs to pull those SCVs up. He doesn't need to keep using them now to tank. So in there, he's lost 13 workers, which he didn't need to lose. He didn't need to keep taking with those Marines. He had siege tanks on the way. He had Banshees out, but he's moved the Banshees out, and they're actually going to head straight across the map. Now, is that only 1 Banshee out so far? I thought he was building 2. I can't see where the second Banshee's gone. So unless it's already in the base. It's already in the base. My bad, I was looking for the dot that didn't seem to exist. So he's causing his own havoc back. So bring up the unit counts again. So 9, and he's been scouted now with an observer, unfortunately. But he's done his own pressure back, destroying 9 probes for 11 at the cost of a Banshee. So probably a more decent trade, to be honest, because he didn't lose as many units as TAEradus did in his drop. Another Banshee coming in now. Needs to get out of there though. He's cloaking, but cloak's not going to be very helpful when there is an observer floating around. Unfortunately, so UpWAiting needs to fall back with this Banshee now. Maybe drop the cloak, save that for later. He's got 2 Sage tanks up, so he's well defended up here, but he needs to expand. They both left us very late for expand. They're both floating on 1 base at 10 minutes. Either one needs to expand. Probably UpWAiting would be the safe one to expand. With 2 Siege tanks, he can cover that expand quite easily by just placing him there, putting his Marines around, dropping a bunker, and bang, expansion. Instead, they're just focusing on building more and more units. So this is mass Marines from UpWAiting here. Banshee now sweeping around to check if there's any expansion. No expansion. So he knows they're both one base all-ins at the moment. Another observer coming out. Mass Stalkers. TAEradus is saving up the minerals now to possibly expand. He's sending Zealot out now to check what's going on. Probably take the tower. Make sure nothing too sus is happening. Banshee snuck back in. Trying to do a bit more damage. Is he going to get picked off though? Oh, so close. He's escaped. The Banshee's out again. But still keeping him on 1 base, which is what he wanted. Observer's coming out now. Both are saving up the minerals. Looks like TAEradus is going to be the first to expand. He's got the minerals saving up. UpWAiting isn't. He keeps spending it on more Marines or more SCVs. I think he's stocking up his SCVs majorly. Whereas he needs to expand. He's got mules. He doesn't need to keep building SCVs. Just expand. As it stands though, TAEradus has spent all the money again. He didn't expand. He spent all the money on more units. So both are doing 1 base at the moment. We're at 1 base at 12 minutes in. Both need to expand. Someone needs to expand somewhere. The observer's going to come in, scout that there's been no expansion UpWAiting either. Supplies are identical. He's actually supply blocked himself at the moment. Needs to get some more supply depots down ASAP. There we go. 2 more supply depots coming down now. Money being saved up by TAEradus now for an expand. This Banshee is not going to see it. And the probe comes down now. Would have been good if the Banshee was still there just then. Would have been able to snipe that probe before this expand came up. And just be a thorn in TAEradus' side. As it stands though, expand is up, Banshee's up here. He's going to take the Zealot. The Zealot saw it there and was trying to run away without fail. The Zealot's going to try and run home, but it's not going to make it. This Banshee's going to pick him off. Server's out here to find out when UpWAiting expands, if he ever does. Needs to keep building a supply depot, so he'll supply cap himself again very shortly. So his Protoss at the moment is also supply capped and not getting anywhere fast. Scan's gone out. This force has moved back. He took the Banshee sneaking around the back now. Unfortunately, he's supply capped, so he can't actually warp any more units in at all. So this Banshee's going to hover back here. The Stalkers are back again now. Another observer out. There we go. There goes the pylon. So both were supply capped for quite a while there from TAEradus and UpWAiting. But TAEradus, although he's behind now in supply, will catch up quick on 2 base economy. Whereas UpWAiting is still floating on 1 base and needs to make his push. He's got 3 siege tanks now, which are more than enough to help hold back these units. Neither up upgrade. No one's got any upgrades whatsoever. He hasn't got a tech lab on any of the barracks, so he can't get stim, can't get combat shields, can't get concussive shells on marauders. So he needs to switch around, build another barracks, get a tech lab on it, start putting some upgrades out. He's got siege, he's got 2 more tanks. He needs to expand though. Now the second base up for TAEradus, and he can start chrono boosting out more probes. His income is just going to fly up. You have a marine and a stalker meet in the middle of the map here. The stalker should win this quite easily. No need for any kiting at all. 1 marine, 1 stalker. See the victor there. Now TAEradus is moving out with his force. He's got 1 banshee healed up, 4 siege tanks, and a bunch of marines. This stalker's not going to last too long unless he moves. Is he going to siege up here, or no? He's going to hold the tower for a little while before he moves forward. Would have loved to have seen stim though. TAEradus should have really thought about giving a second barracks and putting a tech lab on there for stim. As it stands though now, with the second economy up, he's got more than enough money to keep producing units, keep producing pylons, keep producing gateways, even go another tech route now. I wouldn't mind seeing some more immortals though. If he's facing so many siege tanks, would be handy. As it stands, UpWAiting's going to be very cheeky here, and actually siege here, which is going to be which is so very cheeky from UpWAiting here, as these siege tanks are going to be hard to target down. He's going to move forward, he's going to leapfrog via that, so that was very smart moving from UpWAiting. These siege tanks are going to cause a lot of trouble, but without stim, these marines are not that good, unfortunately. Those siege tanks are down now, they're going to start sieging the expansion from TAEradus. He needs to make the most of what probes he's got there and start getting out some more units in a hurry, which he is. 4 more zealots coming out now. It's watching. It looks like he might lose this unless he pushes now. If he pushes all his units, he's got a good chance of being able to get this without stim. And he's pushing in. Marines are trying to kite as best they can. Those siege tanks are falling. The Banshee though is causing a bit of hassle here, but he's got to watch out. So there's an observer there. He's cloaked it, but he needs to scan to get that observer out of the way so that Banshee can keep causing damage. Another siege tank coming down here. He needs to siege. Mule dropping down to repair. Nice move there from UpWAiting. If he's going all in, 1 base all in, he may as well go completely all in. He's got a mule down there to repair with, which he didn't. Unfortunately, didn't get to repair due to a snipe from TAEradus. But he needs to deny that base. He needs to get in there and attack it now. It's still mining. It's still getting minerals for TAEradus. With more minerals means more production. Here we go. Now he's going to come down here and take out this base. Unfortunately, again, no stim. He needs that extra barracks to get stim, but he does not have it, and he's managing the base a bit. And these stalkers are just skirting around the edge of where those siege tanks can fire to. Here they come now. They're gonna have to commit. They're gonna with that immortals, it's gonna be so much DPS on those siege tanks. It's just gonna carve through it. UpWAiting's trying to hold, but he's not gonna be able to now. He's gonna have to fall back. The Banshee and those Marines are gonna have to run as quick as possible. They're getting caught by the stalkers though. It could all fall, unfortunately. They're all gonna fall. So he's now going to have to defend, and he's still only on 1 base with only 3 production facilities. So poor UpWAiting needs to get some more production facilities out, which he doesn't have. And unfortunately, he unsieged his tank just at the wrong moment as well, leaving those units walking past without suffering any damage whatsoever. So Observer here is going to give TAEradus side of the upground though, so he could swing it by there to help him snipe at units. Use that immortal, take rid of siege tank, but he's going to fall back now. Fall back, drop 2 more gases, slowly build up from there. More pylons going down from TAEradus. Mile pylon going up here to get, so he can know if these tanks go back to scout there. He's nearly double supply at the moment of UpWAiting, who is just still building units when he should really, if he really needs to commit to this. He's going to swing these Banshees around again to try and do some harass. More production facility is going down for TAEradus now. He's got a second facility and a forge going down to start getting upgrades. He's got a Robo Bay down so he can start getting Colossi out, and we see the first of the Colossi coming out now. The Colossi is just going to make this force way too much to deal with. Unfortunately, UpWAiting is fighting an uphill battle now. He's facing a force which is just going to be way too strong. I think he's finally dropping down more production facilities, but it's not what he needs. He actually needs another command center. The mules have nearly mined this out. Look at some of these, he's nearly mined out completely some of these minerals. As we watch this mule take his last run back, or it could be his second last run back. I think he's got enough energy left to do 1 more run. We've got a Tech Lab and Reactor coming back on those, but he should have spent that minerals on expanding to try and catch up. But he has. He's got his command center down now, but maybe even a double expand would have been handy. Massively try and catch up. As it stands though, he's got 2 Colossi coming out, Thermal Lance, double Colossi, Thermal Lance. This is going to be a hassle for UpWAiting to deal with. It's going to take some very nice micro positioning to be able to hold off any push that comes from areas now. This therefore is going to be powerful. Weapons level up 1 is coming. Sentries are on the field as well. Sentries being handy in force fielding off units, and he's still got that pro production coming up. If we look at units killed, TAEradus in the lead with 53 units killed to 49, and workers killed 13 to 12. So it's even on there. The only difference being really is that expansion from TAEradus coming up so early. So early, in fact, he's got a 4th expansion coming up now. So you saw it here, the 1-on-1 best hold by an expansion. Admittedly though, that 1-1 came a bit late from UpWAiting. You should really try and force that to come a bit earlier. He's now well defended here. He could have done this earlier on and have that expansion running. It was the benefit of Mules pulled ahead of the Protoss so far. As it stands, that's a bit late. He's got the 2 benches coming out now. They're going to take rid of that probe, I believe it was, the middle map. 3 benches actually. 3 benches are quite a hassle. These stalkers are trying to move up to intercept these banshees. As they're flying in, so they don't actually get to see these stalkers coming. He's cloaked, thankfully, to hide from those stalkers, but 3 benches can cause a hassle. He's uncloaking now, and he's going to check for expansions. He could come around here, and he could deny this expansion, or at least cause the stalkers to have to fall back. And these 3 Colossi, though, are going to be so powerful. 4 Colossi now. This is going to be a Colossi fest. Those lasers are going to carve through everything UpWAiting has. He now has the expansion up, but he hasn't been able to saturate it. He needs to maybe move some of these SCVs from here down there. Start dropping many mules, but he's got no energy to do that with either. They're going to come here. They're going to deny this, which is going to be handy. If the stalkers are going to come in time, to stop UpWAiting denying this expansion, but he must realise, seeing the 3rd is up, seeing that their stalker's still running around, he must realise he's behind and needs to do something. Whether it be a quick push now while the Colossi are isolated or something. This death ball is just getting too powerful, and poor UpWAiting is going to have to defend so hard. He's still behind on 40 supply, and he's supply blocked again. Poor UpWAiting. He needs to worry about his supply depots as well. This is not his best game whatsoever. I've seen much better out of him. Maybe it was nerves keeping him behind this game. Maybe it was trying a strategy he's not normally used to using. I haven't actually seen him use 1-on-1 that often. So I think it's a strategy he might not be considerably used to doing, and on this map, 1-on-1 is not the most powerful map. It's far better on maps, and now he's got a cannon up to stop cloak banshees. He's not going to be able to do this, unfortunately. The only thing missing from those stalkers is Blink. Blink would be very handy, he could take out those completely. He's building up quite the death ball now. The only thing he's got to worry about is TAEradus has not actually scouted the whole base here, so if UpWAiting had got himself a nice ninja expansion, it could have caused a lot more problems. Sorry, excuse me. As it stands though, all he's got is center tower control, which isn't the best from TAEradus. When you've got that much force out there, you want to get more map control. And like the banshees are giving UpWAiting decent map controls. He knows what kind of expansions TAEradus has made. And he knows that he's on 3 base, and he knows that he's behind. That's the only advantage in TAEradus' play right now, is that he's got way better map control than UpWAiting has over TAEradus at the moment. He's got way better map control. I'm having a horrible time mixing up the names this evening. As it stands, UpWAiting has entrenched himself in on 2 bases. He's now starting to saturate both bases. He's now got more supply depots going. His play's starting to pick up here. He did manage to supply block himself again there. He needs to keep building supply depots and not fall behind on that. Now he's got a bit more production facilities out, maybe even drop another production facility and more supply depots. He's also taking down these rocks to take a 3rd. He's going to try and chase into a late game. Maybe a Ghost Academy will come in handy as well. Or even just get some Vikings out. I don't know if he's actually seen the Colossi yet. But we had a pause, and then they're going in now. So there was a bit of pause between them. A very nice manner there. They all waited and they all went. I would like to see some Vikings coming out now to deal with these Colossi. I don't know if he's scoured the Colossi, but he has started to get some upgrades going. He's got, what is he? Actually, he's actually built. What has he got? He's got stim up. He needs to build combat shields. I mean, they'd come in handy, that's for sure. And even drop an engineering bay to get some upgrades going. As he's falling behind on all accounts. He's now completely mined out in his main. He has to expand. UpWAiting is slowly catching up with supply, but they both supply blocked themselves again now. Charge coming. These units are 1-1. This is a death ball from TAEradus that could cause a lot of trouble when he does decide to push, and the push should be coming soon. Just waiting for the death push now. He's got plenty of cannons around here to prevent any banshee harassing any drops, and these banshees are still scooting around, finding out what's going on. He left that probe alive this time. More supply depots coming down. He's starting to pick up his plane now. He's going to have to push out though. This turtling is not working. He's letting the Protoss build up way too much of a force. If we look here, so many more gateways going down for TAEradus and another forge, so he can get double the upgrades and keep chrono boosting them all away. He's got blink and charge. No, he's got charge but not blink. Blink would be handy since he saw those banshees. As it stands though, he's got this nice death ball, almost ready to push. He's got Storm coming. He should get some Templars in now, so when Storm is finished, they've got the energy to do it. And this is one death ball that UpWAiting is going to have to hang on tooth and nail to try and hold. He's got another command center coming up now. Unfortunately, he's so far behind from that early failed push. He's just waiting for this death ball to arrive. and it's gonna, when it arrives, it's gonna cause so much damage. TAEradus now is checking for any ninja expansions. He wants to know if if UpWAiting has done something strange, like taken several double expanded earlier on, or something that might have brought him back in the game. And he actually hasn't sent an OBS over here for a while to find out what the armor composition is. That would also be wise, because TAEradus has got no idea. He might have been going battle cruisers for all he knows. He needs to get an OBS over there as well and find out what's going on. He's got some Arc Gods coming up, so it's going to be Charge Lot, Zealot, Colossi. It's going to be a massive mix of units here. Said it would have been better though if he'd done a couple of Templars and left them to build up energy and got another couple of Templars for the Archon at a later date. It's a very gas heavy army this, so if it does get caught in a bad engagement, it will set TAEradus behind quite a bit, as he's only mining off 4 gas now. He's already used up all the gas out of those 2, but he has banged up a fair bit of minerals. The gas UpWAiting is crazy. Maybe a Ghost Academy and some nukes could help. He's just got so much gas. He's mined out completely. He's got his 2 engineering bays up now, but not the minerals to keep the upgrades going. So, excuse me. Vikings are coming out now, so he's obviously scanned and saw what's coming. This poor Marine is going to last 2 seconds against these upgraded units. They're 2-1 charge lots with 2-2 on the way. 2-3 on the way. 3-2 actually on the way. This army is almost a death knell for UpWAiting. He's gonna, unless it's a really bad engagement, it's not going to end up too well. He's got some siege tanks up here which do some early damage. May even move the other siege tanks up here and try and bottle with the Marines would be handy. That stands. They're sending a couple of warp prisms out now to cause double harass. He's going to warp in a couple of units here to harass. Warp in some units here to harass behind the Marines. Marines have actually seen this due to the command center floating over. And they're going to lift. This mule's going to fly back desperately to get back to here to return its minerals, which it's going to make it, thankfully. He's also warping in some Marines here, but it's right within range of the siege tank though. But it's going to end up with the siege tank firing on its own SCVs if he's not careful. As it stands though, this harass is going to cause so much problems. These Marines are moving up here now. UpWAiting is just stuck. He's stuck on 2 base. He's surrounded. Mass Protoss units. This has to be GG for UpWAiting now. It was all due to that early pressure that's failed. It's unfortunate it failed. He could have done so much more damage with it. It was clever placement of the siege tanks. He just didn't expand. They were both on 1 base that need to expand, and he just didn't. And he supply blocked himself again now with the units taking out supply depots on him. This force is moving in, which has just put everything in a bad position for UpWAiting. His Mass Marine 4, it's not upgraded. These charge lots are now 3-2, I believe. No, 2-2. And they're just falling in, and they're falling. Bad engagement by TAEradus though. He could have done a lot more better there. He's kind of moved him in. I think he's not even A-moved. He just moved the Stalkers and he didn't even A-move. So, if anything, that's the only thing that kept UpWAiting in this was it was a bad engagement, but he can't get those Colossi done. These Vikings aren't even firing. Poor UpWAiting needs to micro those Colossi Vikings, and there they go now. Now they're firing. This is crazy. It's everything going everywhere. Unfortunately, it's just too much from TAEradus. Too much upgraded units. The Colossi will fall to these Vikings, but there's just nothing else left from UpWAiting, and he's just on 2 little production units as well. 1 base, not enough production units. They're all going to fall. It'll have to be a GG from UpWAiting now. As it all came down that early pressure. It was very clever placement of the siege tanks by UpWAiting. Unfortunately, he didn't expand behind it. He went too much all in, and then just was too scared of a counter push that he waited too long. I'm afraid that's GG from UpWAiting. And thank you very much. That was QED Denial, and I'll give you game 2 shortly.